Hi, cooler fans. I'm the PC Expert Amateur, and we're going to take a look at the MSI Mag Coreliquid P360. And they're a little bit shy, but they gave us some specs. And I'll put that up on the screen for you. Let's take a look at their website. Ignore the ridiculous marketing here, rebellious and discreet. Come on. Do you guys even know what that means? I don't think so if you're going to use those words for an AIO. But then again, marketers are always looking for something stupid to say about a product. This concerns me, and the reason it concerns me is this. If you look at the red is the hot water coming from the CPU, the blue is the cold water leaving the radiator, and you see that there's only one point of entry for the water, and it's then divided into 5 streams, 4 of which go along this one side and back out, and then the other one divides up into 4 and it goes out that way. So that means that unless they've compensated by using a different diameter tube to go to the other side, that this far side from the red tube is going to potentially have less water flow, and so it's going to be, because of the uneven distribution, there's not going to be enough pressure to get enough water over to that other side. If you ever look at like sprinkler hoses, if the water pressure isn't high enough, they cannot sprinkle equally across the entire hose. On the other hand, we have a little bit of good news that there is a fill port on the radiator. But let's go to the specifications, because that's what we really want to know about, right? All right, so let's see what else. Oh, okay. So the fans, 78.73 CFMs. That's pretty decent airflow. Dual ball bearings. That's great. 70,000 hours of life. It's okay. Not too bad for the electrical usage. The pump is rated for 100,000 hours, which is pretty darn good. Aside from the fact that, just like a lot of other makers of AIOs, they used a cardboard tray. But at least, like many of them, they also put in some of this foam up here to protect it. We've got lots of mounting equipment, including thermal paste, and there's a 1 to 3 PWM splitter, the low noise adapter, and all the other fun stuff that you need. And even more. Given how many CPUs it supports, it's not surprising there's so much. Let's take a look at the fan. Sorry to disappoint those of you who are hoping for an RPG, an ARGB fan. This is just a black fan. It does have some interesting looking blades on it though. PWM. Let's go ahead and find out what it sounds like. I've gotten it to go surprisingly slow. Not enough to pick out individual blades, but it's definitely slow for a fan that goes as fast as this one does, at least in theory. Harmonic resonance already. And again. Another one. Ooh. And there's another harmonic resonance, but a different tone, much higher than the first one, or the first set of them, which were pretty low for harmonic resonance. I don't often hear a harmonic resonance that is as low as what we heard originally. There's that low one. And when that low one happens, it really shakes the frame. There it is, it's coming again. High one. So we're missing the mid one. And unfortunately, it persists at maximum volume. I mean, RPMs, not RPGs. So, yeah, that's unfortunate that this is such a noisy fan as far as harmonic resonances, because as far as the noise of the fan itself, aside from that, it's not actually noisy. It's fairly quiet. In fact, inside the case, you're probably not going to hear it. And sadly, the static pressure is pathetic. No wonder they didn't put it on there. This is about a 1 millimeter of static pressure, so yeah, it's definitely not worth putting on a radiator. I don't know why they would pair this with this, except for to sell it cheaply, or maybe to make a big profit or something. I don't know. But the fact that they put fans that have this many harmonic resonances, that have the low tone that shake the frame and that very high tone, but not the mid tone, plus very little static pressure. 1 millimeter is way below what's necessary for a radiator. Just really disappointing. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. I mean, I have heard bad things from people about MSI's AIOs, but I thought I'd give it a try. Now, for all of you who want ARGB, go look at some of my other ones, because it's actually hard these days to find non-ARGB water coolers. I prefer no lights because I don't want to waste my electricity on something that's just going to distract me. Like when I'm playing games or watching a video, having the lights from an AIO, like the one I've got in here right now, I can't turn the lights off. We will take a look first at the block, which, it's kind of a nice thing, nice looking. I like their logo, the dragon. It came covered with this plastic to protect the very important appearance. And the tubes do turn. Not too hard to do. Again, there's the fill port, and this plate you see on both sides, that is the pump. So from looking at the information on their website, it appears that the pump is designed such that the impeller is down here on this side, and that means that if there's air that gets trapped up here because you've top mounted it, it's not going to be a big deal until it becomes a humongous amount of air. But if you mount it this way, it also isn't going to be a big deal. And if you mount it this way, it's also not going to be a big deal. And if you mount it on the bottom, it won't be a big deal. However, do keep in mind you don't want to mount it in such a way that the air gets trapped in the water block. That's not ideal because it's potentially going to happen that the air will be trapped against the cold plate, which means the cold plate won't do its job anymore because air is between the metal and the water. Let's find out what the pump sounds like.
And here we go. Got some air in there. So that's a little bit noisy, but honestly, you're not going to notice it. In the cases, it'll be cool. It will be something that will not even be noticeable for most people. Yeah, it's very quiet. So that's good. That's encouraging.
I have heard bad things about MSI's AIOs. So all I'm going to say is this. If you decide to go for an MSI AIO, make sure you're not paying much for it. Because although the pump might be good, and it's not too noisy, the fans have to be replaced because they're junk. At least for the purposes of using them on a radiator. Yeah, so I put it against the radiator, and as you might expect. You get less airflow for the fan that will be against the pump, but you still, over here where there's no pump, you're still going to get not very much airflow, and obviously that's what you want. You want air to be flowing through the radiator. So again, don't buy it unless you can get it cheaply, like maybe $50 if you're in the US, and replace these with something that's got at least 3 millimeters of static pressure. That's about all there is to tell you about this. Need to ask for your help. I'm sorry. On December 11th, 2024, Amazon terminated me and used false accusations against me. And on December 17th, I had my left shoulder operated on. I'm getting a lot better. I can do some things with my hand and my arm, but it's still pretty limited. If you could please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications for my channels, that would really help. If you want to help me financially and you can afford to, you can go to my Glenn's Fast Reviews and you can do a super thanks as a donation there. If you want to donate on a monthly basis, you can become a member there. And or you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII. So thank you for that. Also, I'd like to say thank you to bleepingcomputer.com for allowing me to post messages on their forum about my videos. Thank you so much. And don't forget to visit them. They offer a lot of wonderful resources for people who are using computers. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.